This week's Lokar Car Show finds us in the Sunshine State of Florida. We're in downtown Hollywood for the Dream Car Classic, sponsored by Cobra Joe. Ken Eccleston had another Ford four-door sedan, but he wrecked it a number of years ago. So he went looking and ended up buying this 1932 model.
Bought this one in 2003, and I put it in the garage and at home, and I went and rebuilt it, bottom up, frame up, and built it to drive, not to show, to drive. And that's the whole hobby is, enjoying the cars and driving the cars. And that's what I've always done. And I fixed it up so it's comfortable on the road with AC, power steering, brakes, and everything, so my girlfriend can drive it if she wants to. And we travel all over the Eastern United States with it. I have late model suspension up front, independent suspension, and in the back I got coilovers, but it's still a 32 Ford with a short wheelbase.
At a party, this 1929 Ford Woody caught Keith Catrotti's eye. He became friends with the owner and eventually cut a deal for the vehicle.
I've known him for a couple of years, and what he used to do is he used to bring this down every year from upstate New York, where he owned a marina. He used to flatbed it down here and drive it in Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood area during the winter months, and then have it shipped back to New York. I asked him if he wanted to sell it, that I wanted to buy it, and we wound up cutting a deal. It's all original, 100%. It's got the wooden floors, the wooden roof, everything. It's a flathead four-cylinder. I will go to the grocery store, go Home Depot or anywhere else, and just enjoy the car. Down to the beach, we're 3 miles off of the beach right down there, and I go frequently. The car is capable of going 60 miles an hour. I keep it around 50, 55. There's no sense in, running it, that hard. I can go all the way up to Palm Beach, and I've won shows in Palm Beach, and I've won shows down in South Miami in it.
Robert Camerdine keeps his friend's 1939 Lincoln-Zephyr at his warehouse, but he thought it needed to be seen and appreciated, so he brought it along to the show to show it off.
Basically, the car was finished in the early 2000s, and it was a tribute to the car called Stingray, which sold for a lot of money at Barrett-Jackson, that was owned by Alice Cooper. And 3 cars were built at that time, and this one was finished with a Lincoln motor. Every option conceivable was put on the car. It's basically a sunset orange House of Colors paint scheme, and it won Street Rod of the Year in 2004 at the Nationals. Great build, great driving car. Since then, we've put about 15,000 miles on it, so it has been driven. Even though it's a beautiful show car, it's drivable, everything works on the car, and it looks great going down the street. As you can see, it's been well maintained, well kept, and looks fantastic. A lot of these cars are powered by Chevy motors and such, but this actually does have a Lincoln motor. So it's got a modern Lincoln 4.6 motor with some goodies under the hood and fuel injected, so it's close to 400 horsepower. It's a tricked out transmission, rear end. It's got air suspension, so you can raise or lower the car at any point. Air conditioning, all the modern conveniences that the car could have, it does have. Also, it does have hydraulic hood, so it opens with buttons. The trunk opens hydraulically as well. It's got suicide doors. I mean, it's just a fantastic car. And this is for the guy who has everything or has nothing. This is the car, because you would want it if you didn't have anything, and if you have a lot, you would still want it. So it's a cool build, and there is actual Hot Wheels model of this car. So if you look up Hot Wheels, you will find it.
This is a car designed online. Sherry Rosenblatt and her husband designed this 2018 Grand Sport 3LT Corvette to have fun in it.
And so he picked what he liked, and that's what we chose. And I said, let's get the red interior. That would be really cool and flashy and not just black. So this is what we picked, and we really love it. It's just a weekend driver for fun, and we take rides places, we drive around, and we really have a great time riding around in it. I love it. Every time there's an open road a little bit, or we have a chance and there's not a lot of cars around, he punches it and we go, and it's really great. And what's interesting is when we were driving and we pass another person driving a Corvette, they're always so friendly and they wave and hi, and you know, because it's like a little community of Corvette owners, so it's really fun.
We'll be right back with more amazing cars on the Lokar Car Show, presented by Original Parts Group. The Lokar Car Show, presented by Original Parts Group, is brought to you by Heart of Appalachia. Virginia is for lovers. Original Parts Group, world-class restoration parts. Brothers Truck Parts, your #1 source for 1947 to 87 Chevy and GM truck restoration. Lokar, quality, plain and simple. When he came across this 1973 Chevy Corvette Stingray online, Fritz Warnstedt was in the hospital. He had to ask a friend to take a look at it for him in New York.
I said, go take a look at it. And he called me back and said, you know, this looks like a pretty nice car. And I flew up and I looked it over and I bought it. I had it trucked back. Yes, I took it to a little Corvette shop in Fort Lauderdale, Corvette Country, and I had them replace all the U-joints because I don't know the shape of them. And I had them change the fluids in the tranny and the rear end. And that's really about it. I've only had it about a month. I do drive it on the weekends. You know, it's just a survivor car that, you know, I don't really plan on doing too much with it. You know, I'll probably repaint it again in the future. Yeah, it drives real good, it runs great, it's an original car, you know. I have taken it off a couple times. Like I say, I only had it a month, but yeah, one day we took the tops off and went riding around, yeah.
Hank Jackson found this 1969 Corvair Monza sort of by accident, sitting in a tractor trailer. It had been there for 28 years. Hank now calls her Christine.
No, you don't see a lot of them down here. There are a bunch of them down here. There's a club down here with about 20 of them. And there's a good bit of them up in the Northeast and out west. There were never that many made, and this is 69. The last year they were made, there was only 6,000 of them made. So there's a lot of early models around. For some reason, you just don't see them out and about. I had a couple of them when I was a kid. Back in the day, with the front trunk, fill it full of ice and throw the beer in there and close the hood. Nobody knew you were driving around with going to the parties. She's a lot of fun, especially when you go somewhere and you got to put something in the trunk, and you open the trunk and put something inside of it. People don't have no idea what it is. They look like you got a third eye. She's had some suspension work done, tires and wheels, front disc brakes, air conditioning. It's got a couple of suspension parts out of a early model Corvette in the back. It's the original motor and transmission, never been out of the car. It's a 110, and she's just a cruiser. 2-speed automatic. The only thing we didn't do was paint it and actually sew the interior. Everything else, my buddy and James and I did all the work. And no, it's all done in the backyard garage. I have put more miles on it in the last 6 years than my daily driver. We're right around 21,000. Coming to car shows, we come down here a bunch. We live up in Lake Worth. With the new interior in and everything, rides like it's on rails. And, you know, Ralph Nader was wrong. It runs real good, and it's handles real well. We run down 75, 80 miles an hour with the traffic without any problems.
This 41 Ford pickup was in pieces when Clarence Britton found it in Oregon. He'd sold his old 1940 model and decided he needed another one.
I bought it sight unseen, had it shipped here, and redid the whole truck in about 2.5-year project. I have a small shop, and we like, tinkering with them and redoing them. Well, it was a 41, and it needed completely redone. There's a project I wanted to do. Always wanted another one. It's the same year as my birth year. It's 76 years old, and we took it apart when it got here and redid the whole truck. It's got a Wheeler 383 stroker motor with a small blower, putting out about 550 horse. It has a turbo 400 and a 9/8 Ford rear in it. It's got a Mustang 2 front end under it, leaf springs in the back, and it drives. I can drive it down 95 with no problem at all. I just wanted a real mild yellow, nothing real dark or too bright. It's a nice soft yellow. I like the color combo with the black running boards, and named it Mighty Mouse because all the horsepower under this little truck. Just local, I may go up to Palm Beach or down into Miami, go out west on 27 at the truck stop every now and then.
It's time for Lokar Lowdown with Jeffrey Walls.
I'm here today to introduce to you Clayton Machine Works Pro Touring door handles. We offer in a couple different varieties. We have a cast aluminum chrome series, seen here, available with different inserts for either carbon fiber or black. They come for your door handles, window cranks, and even the vent window cranks. In addition to that, we've got the Pro Touring series in our anodized and powder coated sets. We've got a anodized black as well as a powder coated gray, and we have a mesh and a truss style. So choose from these for your early Ford or your later 49 and later GM and Ford vehicles. We offer the different spline mounts for both of those in all of these designs. Check these out and more, and visit us at a show at ClaytonMachineWorks.com.
Welcome back to the Lokar Car Show, presented by Original Parts Group. When Tim Manistow and his wife saw this 1941 Mercury Coupe, they fell in love with it. The color scheme really wowed them, so they snapped it up.
And we've done a little work to it here and there, and we love it. We go to car shows all the time. We do local car shows and stuff. We do a lot of charity shows. That's what we really like. We've done the interior. We've done little modifications in the engine and stuff, new carburetor and stuff like that, new starter, and a few other things, little minor things. I have a 350 Chevy engine in it with a 400 transmission, and it runs like a dream. Oh yes, very good ride. Goes down 95 straight as an arrow.
His first new car was this exact Impala, but in black. So Gary Weitzel decided to buy this 1964 Impala Super Sport when he spotted it at the Daytona Rod Run.
This one is the stock 327, 300 horse with a 4-speed and the 356 gears under it. It'll do good for the 327, a good engine, and yeah, I can cruise with it. As everybody says, you get a lot of attention, and it's nice to see that. Whenever people ride with me, it like floats down the road. It's heavy, and you go over bumps, it just kind of floats down the road. So it rides real good. I put front disc brakes on it. I put vintage air in it. I put the digital dash in it, and now I'm going to put some stuff on the engine. I've chromed the engine partly, but I'm also going to do HEI ignition and stuff on it just to make it run better. So that's my next project on it.
Original Parts Group Incorporated Restoration Tip.
Here at Original Parts Group, we're dedicated to helping you through every phase of your restoration. Whether you've had your car for years or you just picked up a new project, you may need to do some sheet metal repair. This particular piece here in front of me is a full quarter panel for a 1970 Chevelle. We offer these as well as other sheet metal components, hoods, fenders, doors, door skins and door shells, as well as various patch panels. We've got patch panels for the quarter panel behind the rear wheel, as well as the wheel opening. This particular panel is a full factory quarter panel. It's going to include all of your door jamb flanges, your wheel opening flange, as well as your cutouts for your rear marker lenses. This particular piece is for this 1970 Chevelle behind me. Each piece is stamped from heavy gauge steel and coated with an electro deposit primer to prevent corrosion. So hopefully you don't end up in this situation again in another 20 years. You can find these on our Original Parts Group website, through our catalog, or you can call one of our helpful sales reps and they'll guide you through the process.
We'll be right back with more amazing cars on the Lokar Car Show, presented by Original Parts Group. The Lokar Car Show, presented by Original Parts Group, has been brought to you by Rod End Supply. We don't just sell them, we race them. H&M Saw, the saw that cuts straight. McKee's 37, complete auto and RV care. Advertising Edge, the official uniform of the NHRA. On Frank Martinez's birthday in 1973, his father bought this Cadillac Coupe de Ville brand new. And even after his father passed away at a young age, Frank kept paying rent to store the car.
When I moved to Florida, the first thing I did was go in the house with a measuring tape, go into the garage and make sure the car would fit. People told me I was crazy. I didn't even look at the house, but I looked at the garage. But lo and behold, I found a house with a garage big enough. I brought the car down from New York. And my mom always loved the car. And she got deathly ill with cancer, and I promised her when she passed that I would have the car redone. And lo and behold, after she passed, about a month later, I put the car in the body shop and had the whole car taken down to the metal, repainted, but it still has all the original bright work on it. Brand new top, the back seat is all original, the headliner is all original. I have the original paperwork in the trunk from when my father bought it, the bill of sale and all. But the only thing is that motor's been changed big time. The original Cadillac motor was taken out and I purchased a CAD Company 500 motor. It's been dyno tested at a little bit shy of 600 horsepower, aluminum heads, electric cutouts with headers on the bottom. It's your everyday sleeper. The Mustangs pull up next to me, but when I open those pipes, they start to shake. I drive it as much as I can. The only issue I have with it is that it runs on 100 octane avgas. It won't run on 93 for some reason. I have no idea why. We've tried millions of things to figure it out, but it runs on 100 octane fuel, but I'll drive it anywhere. As you see, I live probably about 25, 30 miles from here. Drove it here with no issue. I would drive it anywhere. I've driven it to Daytona from here. Like they say, it rides like a Cadillac.
From the dealer to the shop, Todd Singer completely customized this 2016 Mustang GT.
All the bumpers, fenders, trunk, hood, everything was dismantled. First thing that happened was the custom painting. All the striping that you see is all painted with 5 coats of clear coat over that. Some interior modifications were done, such as the Recaro seat inserts and other little details inside. Then I went on to making some engine modifications. Right now it has a stage 2 Whipple supercharger on it, 132 millimeter throttle body, 72 pound fuel injectors, has an intercooler behind it, has an extra intercooler in front of it, has an oil separator, oil breather setup, and several other options. Also some cosmetic options inside, a lot of lighting options, such as LED lighting, Oracle lights. It's dynoed right now at about 840 horsepower, and I think I'm going to leave it right at that. Great riding car. Suspension's been worked on also, upgraded to a competition MagnaFlow exhaust system with an H-pipe. Drive it as it's strictly part-time. Weekends, sunny weekend days, I don't really drive it much. My fuel expenditure is about 7 miles to the gallon right now. So it's not an everyday driver. So when I do drive it, I truly, truly enjoy it.
This week's winner of the Lokar Car Show's Pick of the Show Award, presented by McKee's 37, goes to Morton Bazaar and his 1956 Mercury Montclair.
90% their work myself. I'm very proud of it. I won 58 trophies, first place this year with it, and it's my daily driver. The car originally came from California. He drove it home, massive heart attack, so it laid till the late 70s when I bought it. The engine was seized from laying, so I installed a 350 Chevy straight engine with a cam and a big carb. The pinstriping I had done. Everything else I did myself. It has an overdrive transmission, thank God. I'm getting a whole 12 miles per gallon on the open road on high test. And you know what that costs today. Expensive. Oh, people on the road love the car. I just got to watch them shooting pictures and driving close into me. I did have to upgrade it to a 10-inch power booster and an 1 1/16 master, power disc brakes, drilled in rotor, so I could stop like a modern car. I drive it a lot now. I'm living in 5 years here in Florida, so it's my backup car. My wife has an Escape, I use that, but when I can't, I take my beautiful baby out, and people just love it. All the glass is etched in and tinted.
So long until next time from Hollywood, Florida. And next time, next week, the Lokar Car Show comes to you from Bristol, straddling the state line. Half the cars will be parked in Tennessee, and the other half will be parked across the street in Virginia for the Hot Bristol Night Antique Car Show.